two huge smartwatch brands, Huawei and Samsung. So right here I have the Huawei Watch GT3 Pro white ceramic version with a white leather strap, and right here I have the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 40mm Bluetooth version. These two watches have some amazing watch faces that are customizable. You can talk to family and friends from your wrist and always keep track with your health stats and what is going on. But which of these two should you get? So today we will compare these two watches to see which battery life is better, what features do they have in common, what features do we only get on the Samsung, and what features do we only get on the Huawei watch. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, what kind of features do we get with the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5, which we're not going to get on the Huawei Watch GT3 Pro? First up, let's talk about the notifications. Even though both watches receive all of the notifications that you receive on your smartphone, only the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 is capable of replying to them. We can send back one of many emojis that we get. We can use quick reply answers, write our very own text, or we can send straight up voice messages, even though this one only works for SMS right now and it doesn't work for WhatsApp messages. Navigating on this watch also feels a lot better. Since we have a haptic bezel, we can scroll through our messages, workouts and apps. Also, the offline music is a little bit different. Now on the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5, we can decide between YouTube Music and Spotify. Now, since I don't have any YouTube Music premium membership, I only have Spotify, so let's go with this one. If you have a paid membership right here, you can download podcasts, playlists and single tracks right on your watch and listen to them offline while you're jogging or if you're working out. Now there are two more features that you will only find on the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5, and one of them is the body composition. Actually, this feature is unique to the Samsung watches. You can only find this one on the Galaxy Watch 5 and 4. Now by placing your fingers for a few seconds on your watch, you will see some advanced stats like your body fat, BMR, BMI, fat mass and stuff like that. And you can even set some targets for some of those over in your health app. Also, this watch has an ECG and blood pressure function, which we will not find on the Huawei Watch GT3 Pro. And as well as the Google Voice Assistant. Now simply by saying "Hi Google" or pressing on your top button for a few seconds, you will get right to the Google Voice Assistant. And you can ask things like, what's the weather today, do some calculations, start a workout, or even call a friend. Now the Huawei Watch GT3 Pro definitely have some features that are missing on the Galaxy Watch 5. And one of them is the skin temperature. Now even though the Galaxy Watch 5 has a skin temperature sensor, it's not working right now. So that is a big plus point for the GT3 Pro. Now next up, the navigation. The Huawei Watch GT3 Pro ceramic version also has a unique way of navigating through your apps and messages. By rotating the top button, you can scroll through your messages or zoom in and out of your apps. But you can also change this grid layout to a list layout if you don't like the look of it. Next up, we got the offline music. Now, on the Huawei Watch GT3 Pro, you will not find Spotify or YouTube Music. Now, Huawei has its own Huawei Music app, which you have to use. Now, this one basically works like every other music streaming app, just it is from Huawei. So you can create some playlists and download them on your smartwatch. You can listen to podcasts or download single tracks if you want to. A feature that I'm missing on the Galaxy Watch 5 are the sport courses. So by clicking on your workout modes, you will find the usual stuff like running, walking, swimming and such things. But on the GT3 Pro, you also have courses and you can create your own workout plans. Now in total, you have 13 preset running courses, such as Run, Walk Basic and Advanced. You will find some fat burning runs, tempo or HIIT runs. Now that we know the differences between these two watches, let's see what they have in common. And first up, let's take a look at the workout modes, since they are customizable. So you can choose how many different metrics should be displayed and what metrics. For example, you can kick out the heart rate or pace and add the VO2 max or distance. It's really up to you and what you want to see during your workouts. Also, both watches have all the standard health features like the sleep tracker, which tracks your sleep duration, sleep cycles, and you get to know when you fell asleep and when you woke up. You also have a 24/7 heart rate monitor that can also give you some heart rate alerts whenever you fall below a certain level or if your heart rate is too high. You got all-day stress tracking and an SpO2 tracker. Since both watches have a built-in mic and speaker, you can answer and decline incoming calls right on your wrist and talk to your buddies. But you can also start calls from your wrist if you punch in the number on the dial pad. Something else you will find is the remote camera shutter, which basically enables your smartwatch to take pictures with your smartphone, and you have customizable buttons. On the Galaxy Watch 5, you can customize the upper and lower one to open up your tab list, voice assistant, or one of your apps. And the GT3 Pro has one customizable button. The lower one can be connected to any of your apps for a quicker and easy access. By the way, another easy way to access your apps is through your watch faces. Since you can interact with the complication on both watches, you can quickly look at the weather, your health stats, or open up your workouts with just one little tap on your display. Of course, I also tested the built-in GPS on these two watches, and actually they're equally good. First up, the GT3 Pro. Right here you can see that if I'm taking multiple turns in the city, the GPS can't really keep track of it and end up leading me through some houses. But in the open, it works very good, and I only cut corners short, which is pretty normal for smartwatches. Now, if you look at the Galaxy Watch 5, we have similar results. Quick turn in the city, it can keep up with, and the GPS lines in the park are pretty much dead accurate, besides the corners that it's cutting short. Now, the price gap between these two watches is huge. Now, the Galaxy Watch 5 40mm Bluetooth version will cost you $300, whereas the Huawei Watch GT3 Pro ceramic version will come in at the price of $600 over here in Germany. Now, you can downgrade the Huawei Watch to the normal titanium version, which will come in at a price of $500. Now, you can also upgrade the Galaxy Watch 5 to the 45mm Pro version with LTE, which comes in at a price of $520. So the price gap really is up to you which version you are taking. If we talk about the battery life, the Huawei Watch is not even close to the Huawei Watch GT3 Pro. Now this one lasts just about a day on normal usage with the always on display mode turned on, the usual amount of notifications. I had the brightness settings on max, and I did like 1 hour of workouts. Now the Huawei Watch GT3 Pro is totally different. Now this one lasts for about 5 to 6 days on normal usage, but keep in mind I did not use the always in display mode right here, so it kind of shrinks down a little bit probably. The specs of the Huawei Watch GT3 Pro ceramic version and the Galaxy Watch 5 Bluetooth 40mm version are pretty different. Now the Huawei Watch GT3 Pro has a sapphire crystal front and back. It weighs in at around 50 grams and it is water resistant up to 3 ATM. Now this one also comes with 22mm straps and it has an AMOLED display. Now the Galaxy Watch 5 has a Super AMOLED display, an aluminum frame and sapphire crystal glass front. Just like the GT3 Pro, it is water resistant up to 5 ATM but only weighs in at 29 grams. The two big differences between these two watches is first up the storage. Now the Galaxy Watch 5 has 16 gigs of internal storage, whereas the Huawei Watch GT3 Pro only has 8 gigs of internal storage, which is, in my opinion, more than enough. But the more important fact is that the Galaxy Watch is only compatible with other Android devices, whereas the Huawei Watch is compatible with iOS devices and Android devices. Now guys, I made 2 great videos about these two watches with some great tips that you really have to know. Just click one of these videos to get right to them. And guys, that's it for today, and I hope I see you in the next one. Peace!